stream?
Yes. And it's live streaming.
It's live streaming now.
Yes.
Wonderful. And so I don't need to record here on this, right?
You can if you want. It's recording on YouTube as it is.
Okay. So we'll just leave the YouTube recording. Hare Krishna, Mother Tammy. You're
Hi,
muted.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
It keeps kicking me out. We'll see if it works this time.
Yeah. Fourth time lucky. Yes. So I'm going to, because it's now already 4:30, I'm going to get started as usual with the lighting of the lamp. Om Kraverdam Agnim Pranomidum Yamarajam Gachatu Ripravaha. So here's the lamp that's been lit. And here is Jagannath with us. Just so you know, you can't see him, but he's right here with us. Nishkam Bhakti Purna Jagannath Ki Jai. Om Jnana will offer our prayer, the invocation prayer. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest of ignorance, and by the sweetest graces of my spiritual master, my darkened eyes were opened with a salve of love in the form of transcendental knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances, gratitude, and homage to him. Very nice. Hare Krishna. So my question is, how would others know that we're on the live stream? Here's Nancy coming in.
Well, it just actually said it and asked permission to say that we're on the live stream.
I see. No, we know that we're on the live stream. I'm thinking others who want to see it on YouTube, how would they know where?
Oh, well, mm,
They would need
I
to be
don't,
given
we have to be able
a
to
link.
share it, I suppose.
We have to share the link, yeah.
Yeah.
You're muted, Anandru.
Sorry. If they subscribe to us, then they'll be able to. Then they will get a notification that lets them know that we're live and they can see us.
Okay. Okay. And otherwise, we can send a link to people?
Yes, we can send a YouTube link. I can put it in the Smyhl group now if you like.
Yes, please do that.
And they'll be able to.
Welcome, Mother Nancy. You are muted at the present time on your iPhone.
Yes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Now we can hear you nicely.
Yes.
Thank you. Jagannath Prabhu, were you able to reach the other lady, the lady that you were trying to reach?
Oh, actually, she, it's just a Facebook. I don't have her phone number.
Okay.
So she was online and I sent her the message and we'll see. I also sent her a link to the YouTube channel a few days ago.
Okay, wonderful. So she can watch it on YouTube anyway at her convenience. All right, wonderful. So just for those of us who are already on board right now, there are 5 of us here at this time. I wanted to give you a bit of a quick update as to where we are. We do have our Smyhl web page up, and those are already working, and they're simply informational pages. They're not really for people to sign up yet with us. We're working on those because there are now 4 things we're doing at the same time, in the sense that 4 sites that we're preparing, because people will quickly get into from one to the other to the other to the other, And so we don't want to hold them back when they join us. The first website is the Smyhl website, where people come to know what Smyhl is all about and how to do the various things they can on Smyhl, sign up, etc. The second site is under preparation right now. It's called AMIA community site, where people can join free and they can learn about AMIA. They can do some modules on AMIA free and become acquainted with what AMIA is. And I'll explain, of course, what AMIA is in our program, in this program today. And then the third one is called AMIA Talent. And that is for those who'd like to go deeper into AMIA so that they can organize their lives in a way to achieve their compelling outcomes, benefits, and emotional triumphs, like that. And the fourth one is more advanced. It's like the pro version of AMIA, because nowadays what's happening is a lot of people are hearing about, worried about, or in some way or the other, concerned about the developments in the tech sector, especially with AI. So the pro version brings in AI so that our people will be very comfortable with AI and they can actually make good progress with AI and be able to use AI to help them in their lives. And of course, we teach them how to do things so that they're not harmed in any way by AI, like that, things like that. Of course, there'll be more sites coming later, but these are the four. Of the four, two of them are ready, the middle two. I mean, the first and the third one. The second one is being prepared right now, and the fourth one is being prepared. We will release once the second one is ready. We'll release the first three, and then we'll work on the fourth one, which will just take us a few days by the time we get to the fourth one. And by that time, not many people would have joined in who may be concerned that why is the fourth website working, not working. Okay, so let's get started with Smyhl. So what is Smyhl? Smyhl is a 1-hour program that anyone can do in their own home with one more person, either in their home or online. That 1 hour is divided into 4 parts. The first part is we do kirtan for 10 minutes, where we sing the holy names of the Lord. And then for 5 minutes, we speak about the 7 boons that kirtan gives to whoever does kirtan. The amazing boons, we'll be reading about them today. Then for 10 minutes, we read from what is called the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a scripture that is the oldest known scripture to mankind. And it's very comprehensive in the sense that it covers every aspect of life and spirituality and religion, transcendence, like that. It goes to all topics, all the way from the very basics of knowledge to the most advanced knowledge. So we read from there for 10 minutes, and then we read about the 5 boons that the Srimad Bhagavatam gives. Amazing boons again. Now that takes up 30 minutes, 10 minutes of kirtan, 5 minutes of reading the boons of kirtan, 10 minutes of Srimad Bhagavatam, and 5 minutes of reading the boons of Srimad Bhagavatam. So that makes it 30 minutes. And then for the next 20 minutes, we talk about something called AMHYA, AMHYA, and I'll be explaining that today also. Here comes Arik. It's a nice picture. It looks like Clive made that picture. Hey, Arik, how are you? You're muted. There you go. Anyway, while you're unmuting yourself. So that takes up another 20 minutes for Amir. That makes it 50 minutes. And then the last 10 minutes is we do kirtan again for 10 minutes. Actually, the only question I was going to ask you, Eric, was there's a picture that came up first before you came up live. Now,
Oh yeah, that
Clive did that?
yeah, let me show you that.
That was done by Clive?
Yeah, that was done by Clive.
Yeah, that's one of our
Is
artists.
that not awesome?
It is awesome.
Man. It's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, wonderful. Okay, so all right, so very nice. So, but that's what we do for an hour in our homes, and some people also do it where they invite others to come to their home, and that number can grow to any number. We generally suggest between 10 and 20, but we've had programs where the last one we did, we couldn't even do Smyhl properly because there's so many people there. But we had about 250 people at that program. So that was a huge program. Here comes Coach Nathan. Nanda Braj Prabhu. There you go. Welcome, Nanda Prabhu. Screen, you see him as Coach Nathan.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna, wonderful. We just started, just explained what Smyhl is and how in 1 hour, how we do 4 things. Doing kirtan, then reading about the boons of kirtan, Srimad Bhagavatam, then boons of Srimad Bhagavatam. I'm here for 20 minutes and then 10 minutes off. So we're going to do that today, except that because we're doing this online, we don't stick quite to the 1 hour schedule. We do things more organically. And so that can take more or less time depending on how it goes. And we also, for those of you who joined a little later, we also have with us Nishkam Bhakti Purna Jagannath, as you can see. He's with us also, blessing us. And for those of us who see this archived, the version that you'll see archived, Nishkam Bhakti Purna Jagannath is the Supreme Lord himself, who actually is our, you might say, icon, the person who actually blesses us in our program so that we will be very successful individually and collectively, like that. Very good. So we're going to start with kirtan. We're going to do, I would say at this time, 5 minutes of kirtan, because some of the things we want to do is explain more. But you can accept that when you do kirtan for 5 minutes, it's the same thing that we do for 10 minutes. And if you don't know how to do kirtan, any of you don't know, those who are seeing this into the future, all you have to do is go on YouTube, put on Hare Krishna Kirtan, H-A-R-E, and then Krishna is K-R-I-S-H-N-A, Kirtan, and you'll be able to see it come up. Now I'm going to give you an example right now. I'm going to share my screen, and on my screen, okay, I did share. That's fine. Yeah. Open reactions for some reason. Not showing. Any reason the screen is not showing, even though I put it in there?
It's not showing. All I get is I see gray area in your mouse cursor.
Oh, you see a gray area in mouse cursor. That means the screen is showing. Let me do this then. Let me go to my screen. Please, screen won't go away. That's the gray. So has the screen gone? It's still there.
Okay, we see it.
You see the screen now. Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna go to this screen here, go to Google, yeah, go to YouTube. So you see my YouTube screen, right?
Yes.
And so I'm gonna type in, like I said, what I asked you to type in. And okay, you can see this. And preferably put in the second one. Hare Krishna Kirtan is gone. And so here's an example of a kirtan.
Navan, the #1 rated business travel platform, lets your team book work travel in one place. Flights, hotels, cars.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Example. People can sing along. You can hit call and response. The idea is you can do that for 5 or 10 minutes.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Okay. So now I'm going to get out of that screen. So that's a kirtan that you can see. This is, if you don't know how to do kirtan, that's a way that you can actually do kirtan. So what we're going to do is we're going to do live kirtan here for about 5 minutes, and then we'll read the 7 boons. So Nanda Prabhu, you want to lead kirtan for 5 minutes?
Yeah, you can do it.
Just go ahead, and those of us who are online can mute and just sing along when he sings, sing with him. So just we're all muted so that there's not reverberation going on. He's the only one who will be unmuted. All the rest of us will be muted. So you can turn our audios off. Thank you very much.
Just one person can call back if you want, Prabhuji, if you want to just call back, then we can at least have one person.
Okay, we can do it that way too. Yeah. Okay.
Everybody else can be muted.
All right. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Good.
Krishna.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So that's an example of call and response. And if anyone's doing this and they don't know how to do this and are learning and not ready to do this, like I said, you can just go on YouTube, pick up something from there that this type of thing happens on, and do that for 10 minutes. And then we will read from the seven boons of the holy name, so that we see these are the seven boons that one gets by chanting the holy names of the Lord in this manner, doing what is called kirtan, chanting of the holy name of the Lord loudly like this, audibly like this. So everybody can unmute now, and one of you can start reading, and each of us can read, say, one each. Because there are less than 7 of us, we can then cycle back to the next number when we've finished. So who'd like to go first?
I can start.
Oh,
Let there be all victory for the chanting of the holy name of Lord Krishna, which can cleanse the mirror of the heart and
okay. So the first boon that we get by chanting Hare Krishna like this, by doing kirtan, is that the mirror of our heart becomes cleansed. So why is this important? This is important because the heart that is being referred to here is the spiritual heart, which is in the same location as the our material heart, except the material heart is a little to the left, and the spiritual heart is right at the center of the chest, where the solar plexus is. In that spiritual heart are two souls: the soul that represents each of us, what I call the me soul, and then the soul that represents the Lord, the soul that is the Lord, the soul that is me, and the soul that is the Lord. So I call that the little I and the big I. Now, we're not able to see this because our hearts have become contaminated by many material desires. What are material desires? Material desires are desires for largely three things: for what is called the three things that we actually have been asked to stay away from, which is wealth and followers and trying to enjoy sensually the opposite sex like that. Because nowadays people enjoy the same sex as well, in the same way sensually. So these are called dhanam, janam, and sundarim. Dhanam means wealth, chasing wealth in this world. And now there's nothing wrong in any of these three things. The idea is that's not the purpose of our life. Those are things that will happen as a result of doing whatever we're supposed to do in our lives. These are the side effects that are necessary so that we can keep our body and soul together. But other than that, these are not the final purpose of life. There is meaning and purpose in life. And the meaning and purpose of life is to once again rekindle our loving relationship with the Supreme Lord, the origin of all living and non-living entities. And in that exchange of love, all that needs to happen, all that you would ever want to happen, all the wants and needs are taken care of like that. So when we chant like this, that mirror gets cleansed. Just like when a mirror is dirty, you cannot see into the mirror, and therefore you cannot see yourself as a reflection. So we cannot see ourselves in our own hearts because of this mirror that's been covered by the dirt of material exchanges, material life like that. Dense material life, very, very horrendous material life that can happen in our lives, not just by us, by others as well. And we certainly don't see the Lord either. We're not able to see the Lord. The idea is in life to see the Lord face to face, in person, the Supreme Lord. Then there's no doubts who is the Supreme Lord, and there is not this conflict, my God, your God. There is only one God. And that God has two features, the feature of God and the feature of the supreme absolute truth. The feature of God is the controller feature of the Lord, not the feature that most people enjoy in their relationships. The absolute truth feature is the feature of love, eternal love, and therefore much more attractive, all attractive is described, and therefore we become truly happy because the soul, we will know, we will learn, is made of three items: Sat, Chit, and Ananda. Sat means that it always exists. It's always enlivened in existence, past, present, and future. And it is full of knowledge, completely aware, full awareness. And finally, always blissful. So we see that's not happening in our lives because the soul is not actually coming across in our lives. Actually, our lives are more affected by our minds, our intelligence, our emotions, our false ego, like that. We call them the Smyths. S for senses, M for the mind, I for the intelligence, and F for the false ego. So we call them the Smyths. These Smyths actually are affecting us in our lives in a way that does not allow us to feel the true happiness, the life that we're meant to live, which is the life, a complete life of knowledge and happiness, like that. Okay, then someone can read the second boon.
Stop the miseries of the blazing fire of material existence.
There you go. So this is why that mirror is so covered, because there's a lot of miseries in material life, just a lot of miseries in material life. These miseries cover the mirror of the heart and take us further away from the Supreme Lord, take us further away from eternal love. And as a result of that, we burn in these miseries. That's why sometimes they use the word burn when somebody says something to somebody that hurts their feelings, says burn, like that. So this is the blazing fire of material existence that we live in. And we can see around us how much misery there is and how many types of miseries there are. Just an unlimited variety of miseries, and miseries of all sorts, from those that are not so significant to those that are overly significant, and therefore cause people to think that the best thing is to just die, not even live, because it's just so unbearable. So what the holy name does is, when chanted like this, it actually stops the miseries at the source. And just like in the case of a fan that is running at full oscillation, when you turn the switch off, the fan slows down to a halt. It winds down to a halt. And so in the same way, these miseries start winding down to a halt. And we feel this winding down. And as they're winding down, we feel more and more happiness in our lives. We are all manifested and created for lives of miraculous greatness that we can live with free will. But that's not exactly what's happening out there. We're not able to exercise our free will. We're not able to actually live a life that can be said to be of miraculous greatness. In fact, we can say that most of our lives have so much misery in them that we're always anxious and often suffer from depression, like that. So this is a great boon to get, that it stops the miseries of the blazing fire from material existence. And then the third boon.
That chanting is the waxing moon that spreads the white lotus of good fortune for all living entities.
This is really wonderful. When we do kirtan, it creates the waxing moon. Waxing moon means the moon that is growing, becoming brighter and brighter and brighter. That spreads the white lotus. White lotus, very beautiful to look at, and it's very lustrous, of good fortune. We're all looking for good fortune in our lives, and not just for us, but for all living entities. So when we do kirtan, we are actually allowing all living entities to experience this waxing moon that spreads the white lotus of good fortune. Hence, we should do this with all enthusiasm. The idea is to do this with all enthusiasm. It'll give us great fortune and also give great fortune to all living entities. That's a great thing to do. It is said that actually in life, an amazing formula of success is that every one of us is entitled to success in our lives, and we call that 1x. Now, if you want to multiply that to 5x, 10x, 100x, 1000x, whatever it is that you want to multiply it to, the idea is to be charitable to other living entities, to give great fortune to other living entities. Then that fortune comes around multiplied. There's a saying in English, whatever goes around comes around. But in this case, it comes around multiplied. So this is an amazing formula of success that we learn from this. Then number 4.
It is the life and soul of all education.
This is truly wonderful because there's a lot of education going on in this world, but the education is incomplete. And there's a saying in English that incomplete knowledge is dangerous. So what's happening is we can see in this world how much misery is being created, even though there is so much education, because the education is incomplete. True education has 3 parts to it. It has knowledge, it has the application of that knowledge, so they know how to properly apply that education. And finally, both of these create the third thing, which is massive value, massive great fortune. And this is not what we're seeing education doing today. Mostly educational programs are thinly disguised money-making programs. And at other times, there is some education going on because the intention is very good and the discharge of that intention, the execution of that intention is also good, but people do not have complete knowledge. And because of the ignorance that they're in, the education does not complete. Imagine you go to school and for everything you learn, simultaneously you're taught how to actually apply that in your life, and simultaneously massive value is created right there while you're in the education system, so that you become more and more filled with great fortune as you are going through the education system, and not that it's academic and it awaits you to finish education and then start real life and then hopefully have some success in your life. That is not education. So kirtan is the life and soul of all education. Without that life and soul, no education can be complete. So even if people try to do the 3 things I just spoke about, without kirtan, there's no life and soul. And just like in any person, if there's no life and soul, that is who we call a dead person. So currently we have a lot of dead education going around. I'm sorry I'm being so blunt, but this is the truth. And so the 4th boon is the boon that it gives us life and soul in our education. Number 5.
The chanting of the holy name of Krishna expands the blissful ocean of transcendental life.
This is what everybody's looking forward to in their life. They want to be happy. They want to be happy beyond what might be called human happiness. That's why it's called transcendental. It transcends human capacity. It transcends the boundaries of human experience. And not only it transcends it, it is about the blissful ocean of that transcendental life. And not only is it the blissful ocean, it expands that blissful ocean. This is how powerful kirtan is. First of all, it allows us to experience transcendental life, which is life beyond our wildest dreams, our most ecstatic dreams. Then it creates a blissful ocean of that type of lifestyle, and then it expands it. So we can see how these boons are very, very powerful boons, and why we should do kirtan as often as we can. In our Smyhl program, we encourage people to start by doing just 10 minutes a week. And then, of course, 10 minutes again at the end of the program in that 1 hour, so 20 minutes a week. But actually, it should be done every day. And the more time it is given every day, the more benefit we will get. And then number 6. Nanda Prabhu, I think you have not read yet. Okay, I'll
It
read it.
gives effect to everyone.
Very good. It gives a cooling effect to everyone. So we all, in our endeavors in life, become anxious from time to time, what we call become hot under the collar, like that. Just, anxious, angry, frustrated. So we ask people to chill. We ask people to calm down, like that. So this gives the cooling effect to everyone, so that everybody can be calm and happy, truly calm and happy. Cool down so that we can get a lot more done and feel a lot more of the effects of what we're looking for in our lives, like that, the experiences we want to have, the compelling outcomes, benefits, and emotional triumphs, like that. Really wonderful boon. Every one of these boons is very wonderful. Any one of these can transform a person's life in ways that cannot even be imagined, and in ways that are truly very beneficial and enlivening, full of awareness and happiness, like that. And then the final one says, the final boon says, enables one to taste full nectar at every step. Enables one to taste full nectar at every step. We all want happiness at every step. Instead, at this present time, the scriptures say there is life, there is danger at every step. In life, there is danger at every step. This turns it around to just the opposite and allows us to taste full nectar or happiness, like that, at every step. So these are the 7 boons that we get. And in this way, they will be all victory, because the chanting of the holy name creates all victory in these 7 ways. All right, so thank you very much. If any of you have any questions you'd like to ask, please feel free to do so. I'm going to go back to the screen. And yeah. Am I on the screen? I'm not able to see what's happening. I saw. Are we all visible now on the screen?
All we see is the 7 boons of the holy name.
Okay, we still see the 7 points. Yeah. So I haven't stopped share. I think that's what it requires me to do. Alrighty. Not able to see how I can stop share. I'm trying to do that, but it only says share, but doesn't say stop share. Okay. Maybe this does. Nope. You still see the screen, right? I'm gonna have to learn this properly so I can apply this in the future. Do any of you have any questions? Anything you'd like to share before we move on to the next one? Otherwise, we'll start reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Let's go to the Srimad Bhagavatam. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam, okay, here you go. Okay, now you see a blank screen, right?
Yes.
Gray screen.
Gray screen, yeah. Here comes Kushbu coming in. Welcome, Kushbu. We just started the program. Okay, now let's get to the boons. I'm going to bring that document up. Here it is. Okay, so now we'll go to the Srimad Bhagavatam, and before we start the Srimad Bhagavatam, I'm going to actually bring up the Bhagavatam. Okay. Here it is. So this is the Srimad Bhagavatam. Can we see the screen now, Srimad Bhagavatam?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll start reading from here. Before we start reading, let's put our hands together and chant the mantra that will allow us to hear from the Lord in the way that He would like us to hear, and we will understand better what is happening. So please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Great. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Om
Bhagavate
Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate.
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Very good. So this is a 12-syllable mantra that represents the Lord himself. And when chanted, allows us to relate with the Lord in a way that we can speak and hear properly. So this is the Srimad Bhagavatam, and this is the introduction part. And you can see on the screen a certain page of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And so we're going to read from this for the next, let's just say 5 minutes. And then we'll read the 5 boons of reading Srimad Bhagavatam like this, and understanding Srimad Bhagavatam. Reading, actually, just by reading, the benefits come. Of course, understanding will come as much as the Lord allows us to understand, and as much as sincerity as we have, like that. Okay, so again, can someone start reading and just read this on screen, what's written on the screen right now, up to the word soul, starting from Sri Ramananda Raya up to the soul. Go ahead. Somebody can start.
I can start.
Okay.
Sri Ramananda Raya was a self-realized soul. Although he was outwardly, he belonged to a lower caste than Brahmana in social status. He was not in the renounced order of life, and besides that, he was a high government servant in the state. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted him as a liberated soul on the strength of the high order of his realization of transcendental knowledge. Similarly, the Lord accepted Sri Haridasa Thakura as a veteran devotee of the Lord coming from a Mohammedan family, and there are many other great devotees of the Lord who came from different communities, sects, and castes. The Lord's only criterion was the standard of devotional service of the particular person. He was not concerned with the outward dress of a man, he was only concerned with the inner soul and his activities. Therefore, all the missionary activities of the Lord are to be understood to be on the spiritual plane, and as such, the cult of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or the cult of Bhagavata Dharma has nothing to do with the mundane affairs, sociology, politics, economic development, or such sphere of life. Srimad Bhagavatam is purely transcendental urge of the soul.
Very good. So this is the type of knowledge we get from the Srimad Bhagavatam. And we'll move on. Have the next person read the next part, starting from when he met Ramananda Raya up to where this sentence stops at bona fide acharyas, past and present. Go ahead. Can somebody read that?
When he met Sri Ramananda Roy on the bank of the Godavari, the Varnashram Dharma, followed by the Hindus, was mentioned by the Lord. Srila Ramananda Raya said that by following the principles of Varnashram Dharma, the system of 4 castes and 4 orders of human life, everyone could realize transcendence. In the opinion of the Lord, the system of Varnashram Dharma is superficial only, and it has very little to do with the highest realization of spiritual values. The highest perfection of life is to get detached from the material attachment and proportionately realize the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The personality of Godhead recognizes a living being who is progressing in that line. Devotional service, therefore, is the culmination of the culture of all knowledge. When Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, appeared for the deliverance of all fallen souls, he advised the deliverance of all living entities as follows. The Supreme Absolute Personality of Godhead, from whom all living entities have emanated, must be worshipped by all their respective engagements, because something that we see is also the expansion of his energy. That corner is blacked out.
Okay.
That is the way of real perfection, and it is approved by a bona fide acharyas past and present.
Okay.
The system of
That's good. You can stop there. Yeah. So that part, I don't know how it was blocked out, but it says the Supreme Absolute Personality of Godhead, from whom all living entities have emanated, must be worshipped by all their respective engagements, because everything that we see is also the expansion of his energy. Now, in your case, of course, because the way it's sitting, that little icon is sitting there. Actually, I'm wondering if I can move that icon. Yeah, there you go. I move the icon, it becomes better, but then it hides something else. So anyway, all right. So it depends on how big your screen is. It covers that part up. But thank you very much. That's wonderful. And then we start again from the system of Varnashrama is more or less. So someone can start reading from this one's a little shorter, but go ahead.
Sri Ramananda Roy then
No,
suggested
this
renunciation.
starts at the system of Varnashrama is more or
Yeah,
less.
okay, sorry.
Yeah.
The system of Varnashram is more or less based on moral and ethical principles. There's very little realization of transcendence as such. And Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected it as superficial and asked Ramananda Roy to go further into the matter. Sri Ramananda Roy then suggested renunciation of fruitive actions unto the Lord. The Bhagavad Gita 9:27 advises in this connection, whatever you do, whatever you eat, and whatever you give, as well as whatever you perform is in penance, offer to me alone. This dedication on the part of the worker suggests that the personality of Godhead is a step higher than the impersonal conception of the Varnashram system. But still, the relation of the living being and the Lord is not distinct in that way. The Lord therefore rejected this proposition and asked Ramananda Roy to go further.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much. Very good. And then someone can read from here where it says, Raya then suggested, and go up to the words very simple and easy. Somebody want to read that?
Raya then suggested renunciation of the Varnashram Dharma and acceptance of devotional service. The Lord did not approve of this suggestion, or also for the reason that all of a sudden one should not renounce his position, for that may not bring the desired result. It was further suggested by Rhea that attainment of spiritual realization, freed from the material conception of life, is the topmost achievement for a living being. The Lord rejected this suggestion also because, on the plea of such spiritual realization, much havoc has been wrought by unscrupulous persons. Therefore, all of a sudden, this is not possible. The Raya then suggested sincere association of self-realized souls and hearing submissively the transcendental message of the pastimes of the personality of Godhead. This suggestion was welcomed by the Lord. This suggestion was made following in the footsteps of Brahmaji, who said that the personality of Godhead is known as Ajita,
Yes.
or the one who cannot be conquered or approached by anyone. But such Ajita also becomes conquered by one method, which is very simple and easy.
There you go. So here you can see the steps are being given of how people understand spirituality and religion in a way that is progressive and at the same time more and more realizable like that. Many nice suggestions given by earlier on, but they were rejected by the Lord because people cannot understand that at that stage so easily like that. So then, so starting from the simple method up till the routine program, someone can read that part.
The simple method is that one has to give up the arrogant attitude of declaring oneself to be God himself. One must be very meek and submissive and try to live peacefully by lending the ear of the speech to the speeches of the transcendently self-realized soul who speaks on the message of Bhagavad Dharma, or the religion of glorifying the Supreme Lord and his devotees. To glorify a great man is a natural instinct for living beings, but they have not learned to glorify the Lord. Perfection of life is attained simply by glorifying the Lord in association with a self-realized devotee of the Lord. The self-realized devotee is one who surrenders unto the Lord fully and who does not have attachment for material prosperity. Material prosperity and sense enjoyment and their advancement are all activities of ignorance in human society. Peace and friendship are impossible for a society detached from the association of God and his devotees. It is imperative, therefore, that one sincerely seek the association of pure devotees and hear them patiently and submissively from any position of life. The position of a person in the higher and lower status of life does not hamper one in the path of self-realization. The only thing that has done the one has to do is to hear from a self-realized soul with a routine program.
Thank you.
It's
Very,
covered.
very good. Now, I'll read the next part because the sentence doesn't complete. Okay, very good. Somebody else who's not read can start from the teacher. Let me get this right. Okay, from the teacher and up to the completion of the sentence where it says, took a pension from the king.
Where do we start?
Where the words the teacher on the top of the screen, you see the word the teacher right at the end of the first sentence.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
All right.
start from there. Yeah,
The teacher may also deliver lectures from the Vedic literatures following in the footsteps of the bygone
Acharyas, yes.
Acharyas, who realized the absolute truth. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommended the simple method of self-realization, generally known as Bhagavata Dharma. Sri Bhagavatam is the perfect guide for this purpose. Above these topics, discussed the Lord and Sri Ramananda Raya. There were still more elevated spiritual talks between the two great personalities, and we purposely withhold those topics for the present because one has to come to the spiritual plane before further talks with Ramananda Raya can be heard. We have presented further talks of Srila Ramananda Raya with the Lord in another book, Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. The conclusion of this meeting, Sri Rama Raya has advised by the Lord to retire from service and come to Puri so that they could live together and relish in transcendental relationship. Sometime later, Sri Ramananda Raya retired from the government service and took a pension from the king.
That's good. Let's stop there. Thank you very much. That's wonderful. And then there's one more part here that starts with he returned to his residence in Puri. I'm gonna bring that up as much as I can. There you go. And all the way to the South Indian tour. Can be read by somebody? Anybody else who hasn't had a chance to read yet? Disha, you want to read? I think you're probably one person who hasn't read yet. If not, I'll read. Okay. So he returned to his residence in Puri, where he was one of the most confidential devotees of the Lord. There was another gentleman at Puri of the name Shikhi Mahiti, who was also a confidant like Ramananda Rai. The Lord used to hold confidential talks on spiritual values with 3 or 4 companions at Puri. And he passed 18 years in that way in spiritual trance. His talks were recorded by his private secretary, Sri Damodar Goswami, one of the foremost intimate devotees. The Lord extensively traveled all over the southern part of India. The great saint of Maharashtra, known as Saint Tukaram, was also initiated by the Lord. Saint Tukaram, after initiation by the Lord, overflooded the whole of the Maharashtra province with the Sankirtan movement. Sankirtan means like we do kirtan, but when you do it together, it's called Sankirtan. And the transcendental flow is still rolling on in the southwestern part of the great Indian peninsula. The Lord excavated from South India 2 very important old literatures, namely the Brahma Samhita and the Krishna Karnamrita. And these 2 valuable books are authorized studies for the person in devotional line. The Lord then returned to Puri after his South Indian tour. So this is reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam. And now what we'll do is we'll read the 5 boons of doing this. There are 5 boons that we get when we actually read like this. And so I'm going to go back to that part of the screen where we can actually see that document. Okay, now for some reason I thought I was exiting the screen and it became actually more. All right, there you go. There you go. That's the introduction. We read the introduction. Trying to get to the part. Screen sharing has stopped. Stream?
Yes. And it's live streaming.
It's live streaming now. Live streaming.
Yes.
Wonderful. All right, I don't know what happened there. But well, what I'll do is I'll do it this way. All right, do we see this screen now that says Glories of Srimad Bhagavatam? Does that show up?
No.
Not yet. Okay. All right, let me do this. Let me go to share. Now does it show up?
Got it.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, wonderful. So these are the glories of the Srimad Bhagavatam. There are 5 boons that we get. They come in 5 clusters, and each cluster has a number of boons in each cluster, right? So someone can read the first boon that starts with O Nectar.
Oh, nectar from
Sorry. Go ahead.
oh, nectar from the ocean of all scriptures, singular fruit of all the Vedas, rich mine of the precious gems of all conclusive truths. You are the only giver of light to all the worlds.
Now, this is an amazing boon because first, there are many, many scriptures in this world, and this Srimad Bhagavatam is described as the nectar from the ocean of all scriptures, which means there's so many scriptures that there's an ocean of scriptures out there. And this is the nectar from that. Singular fruit of all the Vedas. The Vedas are scriptures. And this is the singular fruit that comes out from the tree of all of the scriptures. Rich mine of the precious gems of all conclusive truths, because we're all looking for truths. We all live our lives based on the truth. Then imagine there are conclusive truths that are the most powerful of truths. And this is the one book, the one scripture that is the rich mine of all of the precious gems of those conclusive truths. So all the precious gems of conclusive truths are in this book. That's why this book is so important. You're the only giver of light to all the other worlds, or to all the worlds. So basically what happens is all the other scriptures are actually reflections of the light that come from Srimad Bhagavatam. This is how powerful this book is, therefore should be read by everyone. Reading 10 minutes a week is very powerful. Reading 10 minutes a day is more powerful. And we should all have Srimad Bhagavatam in our house and read for 10 minutes, maybe 5 in the morning, 5 in the evening, the same 5 minutes we read in the morning, or 10 in the morning and 10 minutes of the same what we read in the evening. And during the day, try to remember what we read. And over a period of time, because we read the same thing the second time, we remember what we read, and our memory becomes better. And then our memories become very sharp like that. Okay, someone can read the second boon.
O life, heir of all the Supreme Lord's devotees, O Master Srimad Bhagavatam, you are the sun risen in the darkness of Kali. You are the exact image of Sri Krishna.
Okay, so O life heir of all the Supreme Lord's devotees. So everyone who follows God is a devotee of God. This is the book that gives life air to them. Life air is what keeps us alive. All of us have some life air in us, and therefore we're able to live. And so if we want our devotion to live, then this is the book from which we get all the life air that we need to grow our devotion to the highest possible extent, like that. O Master, because the Lord is Master. Srimad Bhagavatam is the Master. You are the sun risen in the darkness of Kali. Kali is the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. This age is one of 4 ages that cycle 1,000 times. These 4 ages cycle 1,000 times, becomes a day of Brahma, which is 4,320,000,000 years. Then comes the night of Brahma, where again these 4 ages cycle 1,000 times. That's the other 4,320,000,000 years. So a day of Brahma is for us 8,640,000,000 years. So we can see it's a very long day. And so in this age, which is the dense, dark age of quarrel and hypocrisy, this is the book that gives us light in such a way that it is described as the sun risen in the darkness of Kali to drive away ignorance. You're the exact image of God. That's what it says. You're the exact image of Sri Krishna. Why? Because when you read Srimad Bhagavatam and you're able to understand it, and you will understand it when you read it, when the Lord blesses us, you actually can see Krishna himself personally, like that. Very good. Someone can read the third of the 5.
I bow down to you who are supremely blissful to read. Your every syllable pours down a flood of prema. You can always be served by everyone. You are Sri Krishna himself.
There you go. So the author of these 5 boons says that he's bowing down to the Lord. This is a sign of humility. When we bow down to each other, in some cultures, they bow down all the time to each other. Especially the Japanese, you notice they're always bowing like that to each other. It's a sign of respect. More than that, it's a sign of love, actually. Respect is partial love. Love is complete. Who are supremely blissful to read. So when you read from Srimad Bhagavatam, it will give us bliss. It's every syllable pours down a flood of prema. Prema means love, eternal love. Every syllable pours down a flood of eternal love. How powerful is that? You can always be served by everyone. There is no requirement. We're all children of God. The Lord wants all of his children to be happy, and so he gave this process that is the highest of all processes. And if we read, then we're serving the Lord directly, and everyone can do that regardless of what their situation is. You are Sri Krishna himself, your God himself, like that. Okay, wonderful. Then the 4th of the 5, someone can read.
My only friend, my constant companion, my spiritual master, my great wealth, my savior, my good fortune, my source of ecstasy, I bow down to you.
This is a very powerful one, as you can see. All these boons are very powerful, by the way. But this one sort of hits home for a lot of people very easily. My only friend. Why does it say only friend? Because this is the friend that's always with us. He has been with us all of our past, is with us today, and will always be with us all of our future. No other friend stays for a long time, right? When there's someone is a friend, then one of the things about that friendship is that it actually sustains and it scales. It continues and it becomes better and better over a period of time. We cannot say that about anybody else except Krishna, because all the others come and go. Like, we don't remember our friends from our previous life, the other friends, apart from Krishna. We don't really remember them. And we don't even know who our friends will be in our next life if we're in this material world. But this is the one friend who is always with us. And the only one that you can fully rely on is a friend. Friends we rely on. Our friends have our back, we say. They help us in our good times and bad times. This is the friend that always does that. Therefore, we say the only friend. My constant companion, like I said, previous lives, this life, and future lives, and all lives, Krishna will always be companion to us and comes as the super soul sitting in our hearts, our spiritual hearts. My spiritual master. What is the purpose of the spiritual master? To remind us what is the meaning and purpose of life. What is the highest meaning and purpose of life? So the Srimad Bhagavatam does that. My great wealth. We're all looking for wealth. This is the real wealth, because this wealth will survive this lifetime. All other wealth will go away in this lifetime, but this wealth will survive. So it's our real great wealth. The other bit is a small wealth, minor wealth, but this is the great wealth. My savior, because this helps us from having to go to the hellish planets, and then go to the heavenly planets, and come back in the middle planetary systems and go back to hell, because this is how we cycle. Up and down, up and down, up and down creation. My good fortune, really great fortune here, because this actually gives us real knowledge, the truth that is not only sustainable, but like I said, scalable. Gets better and better as time goes. My source of ecstasy. So here's the source of all happiness. We should take full advantage of the Srimad Bhagavatam, read it every day. It is the source of our ecstasy. I bow down to you. In our program for Tamba, Smyhl, for Amya, and any other iteration that's going to come in the future, all of the things that I have brought up came out from the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's just so amazing, you can see, right? And then finally, the last boon, someone can read.
O bestower of saintliness to the unsaintly, O exalter of the most fallen, please never leave me. Always appear in my heart and my voice with pure love.
What a nice boon, right? O bestower of saintliness to the unsaintly. This is real saintliness. Saintliness is not a badge that you can wear that says you're Saint so-and-so. Yes, saints are great people, and the saints we know are really nice people. They're very good. But here the unsaintly can become saintly. Srimad Bhagavatam bestows. Bestows means it gives it to you without any cost. It's just like someone bestows us a inheritance. Then we didn't have to work for that inheritance. It came to us more or less free of charge, just for the relationship. So build this relationship with Srimad Bhagavatam. Exalter of the most fallen. What does exalter mean? It takes you from wherever you are to a highest condition. Srimad Bhagavatam exalts us. How wonderful is that? Please never leave me. When somebody's like that with us, always giving us amazing inheritance, always raising us to greater and greater heights, why would we want them to leave us? We pray that they never leave us. We pray that Srimad Bhagavatam never leaves us. Always appear in my heart and my voice with pure love. Pure love is what is the most powerful thing in creation. There is nothing more powerful than pure love. Pure love can defeat anyone and everyone, anything and everything, and all of them put together, past, present, and future, can be defeated by pure love. And all of that together cannot defeat pure love. This is the power of pure love. So if that pure love is sitting in your heart, in our hearts, and in our voices, you can imagine how much strength we'll have. Amazing strength. Instead of chasing the things in this world that people tell us are truly great things when they're not. People find them and lose them, find them and lose them. And even if they die with the greatest amount of wealth, they lose all of that in their death. Then they have to start all over again in the next life. You can't say in your next life, please transfer my last life's balances, credits, whatever we have, to our life. We can't. We have to start all over again. And most people, no matter what they achieve in their life, die very insignificant deaths. The example is given of Hiranyakashipu. Very amazing personality. He became so great. He achieved so much that he was able to own all the three worlds, heaven, earth, and hell. He owned everywhere in hell, everywhere on earth, and everywhere in heaven. All three places. There wasn't a place where a point of a needle would sit that didn't belong to him. And what happens? He dies like a bug being crushed between the fingernails of Nrsingadev. What an inglorious life to die like a bug being crushed between the fingernails. In some of the third world countries, I noticed, mothers have their child in front of them and they run their hand over their heads and pick out all the bugs that are, the lice that are in the hair of the child and crush the lice to death. So he died like that. And no one's achieved as great as he did. Pure love is very opposite. Pure love is the example of Lord Jesus. He had pure love. So his death was glorious. Even though it looked inglorious, it wasn't inglorious. It was the most glorious of all deaths. And he could rise from that whenever he wanted to. So a person who has pure love in their heart and voice never die. It may look like they died, but they don't. They get rebirth in a way that's way more glorious than anyone can ever imagine. So what nice boons, right? 5 boons of reading the Srimad Bhagavatam. This is why we started the Smyhl program. Anybody has anything they'd like to say about this or any questions you'd like to ask before we move to the third part, which is Amya. So I'm going to bring up Amya. Amya stands for, the word has 5 letters in it, A, M, H, Y, and A. We can see this on the screen, right? So anybody want to respond? Is this visible on the screen right now for you all? Yes? No?
It's visible.
Yes, it is.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So Amya is how you gain and experience authentic freedom. You reflect and grow each week in the following arenas of compelling empathic mastery. A stands for added hearts, where we add God's heart to our heart. And then we also add other people who are aligned with that. So now we become a very powerful person because all of these are together with us. And we can achieve amazing feats by doing this. M stands for, it's like a me set. It means just like we have mindset, me set, because in mindset, mind is only one of 11 levels of consciousness we have, 11 types of consciousness we have in our body. So me set is all 11 levels of consciousness being organized in a way that creates amazing success. Then the H stands for heart-centered, which means now we can do things based on the added hearts, God's heart and others' hearts, and also understanding ourselves fully with all 11 levels of consciousness firing like that. Imagine there's an 11-cylinder car and all the cylinders are firing. If one of the cylinders is not firing, that car is making a lot of noise but not doing very well. So this is why we don't do very well, because all the 11 levels of consciousness are not activated. The H stands for heart-centered. Now that we've added Krishna's heart, the Lord's heart, and the hearts of other personalities, and then our consciousness levels have become activated, now our decisions and things that we do in our life can be centered in the heart, where all of these sit perfectly. And then the Y stands for Yubira, which means your omnibest identity reveals all. Everyone has an identity manifested by the Lord himself, designed for miraculous greatness of life and living a life of true freedom and bliss. So what is that identity? We learn about that in Yubira. And finally, the last A stands for A5 in the 10. A5 means the 5 steps, small steps we take in the 10 dimensions of our life. The 10 dimensions are listed here: financial, physical, mental, intellectual, emotional, social, environmental, locational, spiritual, and finally the most powerful, transcendental. So these 5 steps we take is all of us have some agency in one or more of these 10 areas, meaning capability. So we create some small action based on that gives us some achievement. That achievement makes us authentic, gives us authenticity. That authenticity increases our happiness, which is our affinity. That makes our agency grow bigger. Then we do bigger action, more achievement, more authenticity. More affinity, the more affinity makes the agency even bigger. And so this cycles until a small movement, a small action becomes a huge movement like that. This is the most powerful way of creating movement. So the first 8 out of these 10 health empowerment are the tools given to the 9th, which is each and every one of us, our soul, the spiritual part, to serve God, the transcendental part, like that. This brings enduring joy, peace, and purpose, like that. So we practice this for 20 minutes. And there we talk about some small micro wins that allow us to create movements into the future, very quickly into the future. So a micro win might be, say, for example, that you learn to smile more, just smile more, in the sense that when you see people, make them feel that you're happy to see them. What does that do? That will create so the small action is the smile, and that creates an achievement. What is the achievement? Your friendships grow as a result. That'll make your friendships more authentic, and you'll be happier to have even better friends or more friendship with that person or persons. Your friendships will grow until it becomes a huge, powerful friendship that creates amazing, amazing results. Just like we started that process a little over a year ago, we met at the Avon on Cameron Avenue. And a few of us got started. Even before that, a few of us got started. And we created some action, we created some achievement. Now authenticity has grown. And we love what we do now. Now we have Jagannath with us, the Lord Jagannath. We also have the devotee Jagannath with us. We have so many things that are happening that are truly miraculous. And now it's turned into a movement. And this movement is going to grow and grow and grow. And people will see and look back at one time into the past and say, wow, what an amazing movement. We wonder how it started. And here we are, the ones who actually are pioneering this. So I congratulate you all for helping in this process. And let more people join and help us in this process so that we can grow into the most powerful movement. So we do this for 20 minutes. And then the last 10 minutes, we again do kirtan, which we did before. And that finishes off the hour like that. So this is the program, Smyhl. And we should have the website up this coming week at some point where people can actually join and sign up. And also the AMIA website, which people can join in and sign up for. And then we have some premium tiers that we're coming up with into the future, premium levels for those who want to have communities that are more united as professionals or small businesses, large businesses, international institutions like that. So that's how we're going into the future. And then bring in other programs as well that give us a 365 or 360 degree, 24/7, 360 degree process and framework that allows us to actually see God face to face and live this life for complete satisfaction, to its completeness in terms of fulfillment and satisfaction like that. thank you all very much. I'll ask if any of you like to say something before we sign off. We're going to stop at 6 o'clock. We have 5 minutes. I'm going to pull out of here and see if I can get off. And come back to the screen is still showing up, right? So the screen sharing is stopped as the shared window is closed. Okay, great. That's good. That's what I wanted to.
The screen is still there.
Oh, it's still there.
No. It's showing you.
Oh, it's showing me now. Okay, so I'm going to put it on the gallery so it can show all of us. Is it showing all of us now?
Yeah, everyone.
Okay, wonderful. So there's 7 of us here. So wonderful. Looks like Disha is no longer with us. She came in for a little while and then probably was not able to stay on. So any points from the rest of you?
Nope. Very nice.
Good. Very good. Thank you very much. And so our next program is going to be the coming Friday, which is the 15th of May. That program is up in Salina area. Salina, Prosper, that area. And that's going to be a huge program. I think they're expecting way over 100 people there. We'll be installing Nishkan Bhakti Purna Jagannath, installing Jagannath there for 3 families. So 3 of them. Of course, we'll take our own Jagannath with us. The bigger Jagannath and here the smaller Jagannath that you just saw. So it'll be an amazing program. You can join us live there. I mean, join us in person, that'll be great. But join us live on Zoom or on YouTube, through YouTube Live. And if you'd like to be there, please ask me, let me know. I will send the address over to you so that you can come over there in person. Or join us for the ride that we have from here. So we're sharing a ride to go there together. All right, thank you all very much. Let's offer our respectful obeisances to one another. Vanchikapa Turvescha, Kripa Sindhuvyevicha, Patitanam Pavanebhya, Vaishnavebhya Namo Namaha, which in English means, let us offer our respectful obeisances upon all Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. A Vaishnava devotee of the Lord is a person who believes in one God, is called a Vaishnava devotee of the Lord. So we say, let us offer our respectful obeisances upon Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who are just like desire trees. So they can fulfill desires of everyone, but they're full of compassion for all fallen conditioned souls. Jai. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Right.